What's up guys, and welcome back to Sliced, and welcome back to the Ramadan recipe series. Now, we used to go to this masjid growing up, and it was looked after by a Guyanese family. Every Ramadan they used to make this amazing fried banana dumpling called Gulgula. I'll be honest though, we always used to call it banana balls. I guess the name didn't stick for us. But anyway, it's a real classic recipe that we're used to growing up with in Ramadan, so I'm going to show you guys how to make it today.
Okay, so we're going to start off by pouring 150 grams of caster sugar into a bowl and taking 3 ripe bananas to the side, and they have to be super ripe. These aren't even that ripe, to be honest. They need to be really dark and brown, and that way they'll be super sweet. Next, in a bowl, we're going to add 300 grams of self-raising flour. This is a rough guide I used, about 100 grams of self-raising flour per banana, but this will change obviously because the banana is going to be different weights and sizes and whatnot. We'll just use that as a measure. I'm going to go ahead and add a teaspoon of baking powder to that. It's going to make it puff up, along with a pinch of cinnamon or nutmeg. Nutmeg is better, but up to you. Add a pinch of salt to that, and of course we've got some vanilla extracts on the side to add a bit of flavor. Next up, we're going to add our bananas into the stand mixer. You can use a fork to mash them up if you want, and mix our sugar in with that. And we're going to blend this up, or mix it up rather, until it's a really nice mushy paste. Again, just go ahead and use a fork if you don't have a stand mixer, that's absolutely fine. And what we're going to do is slowly add our dry ingredients to this until it's totally incorporated. Now, this was a little bit thick at this point. You want it to be the consistency of a thick cake batter. And so I've just added a splash, literally like a tablespoon or two of milk, just to thin the batter out a little bit to make it easier to scoop up with the spoon. Now I'll just show you here what the consistency should look like. If I pick up the attachment, you see how it hangs off a little bit? That's how it should be. It should droop off my finger just like that. And so what we're going to do now is heat up our oil to a medium-low heat. It's so important that it's a medium-low heat. If it's too high, the amount of sugar inside this is just going to burn. The inside will be raw. So you really want to have a medium-low heat so that it's very lightly bubbling. And I put a little sample in there just to see when the temperature comes up to scratch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a teaspoon, that's right, just a teaspoon, wet my finger and push the batter off. And just wet your finger slightly and it should come off with relative ease. It's looking like a little bit of a weird sort of shape when you first do it, but as it puffs up it will form a nice circular shape, and as you can see the bubbles are just lightly forming around the outside. That's what we want. We want a nice light fry. This is still going to achieve amazing caramelization on these gulgula, and as you can see they're a nice lovely golden. You can flip them as often as you want, just control the heat, and when they're nice and golden, scoop them out onto a plate that's been lined with some kitchen paper and go ahead and serve that up. And I'm not doing any justice to Auntie's gulgulas, they were amazing, but these are really good as well. So I recommend you guys try that out. Send me pictures of your attempts at slice_YT on all social media. And I look forward to seeing you next week.